Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube? I'm back. This is SEL0320 for a brand new movie review. This time around, I actually had the pleasure of seeing something very early, and all I can say is it is the sequel to this movie right here. If any of y'all remember, I did a review for this early as well, but Justice League War, it was technically actually a sequel to this, which is Flashpoint Paradox, where Flash, he had gone and he had done something and it caused a rift in a brand new dimension, and the whole outcome of everybody's reality was completely changed severely. And after that, he corrected things, but then it showed a brand new Justice League, a brand new leveling plane of the New 52, which was the culmination of everything that happened in War. And this one, it's the same voice actor that did the voice acting for Batman in this one. He's doing the same voice acting for this brand new movie, The Son of Batman. And I mean, off the gate, I'll say this, it surprised me so much, y'all. Like, I can't tell you how much I seriously enjoyed this, like from the start all the way to the finish. I mean, I don't think I've enjoyed a Batman feature like this and not been like surprised out of everything since Under the Red Hood. And Under the Red Hood, I still don't own that, but that was one of my favorite Batman feature films, with the exception of probably Mask of the Phantasm film. Y'all remember that from the same, I think it actually was done by Bruce Timm, the same maker and creator of the 90s, the Batman animated series. But this one is a whole new game because it features, like I said, the 52 version of the Batman and the start of his partnership slash beginning relationship with his son, Damian. And it's very interesting. So if any of y'all haven't read the comic book, then y'all are going to be surprised and enjoy it. If any of y'all have read the comic book, then you're going to love the way that they treat the mythology for it. Me personally, I hadn't even read all of the Batman and Robin comics. I hadn't read all of the start of the Son of Batman either. So I was actually brought in very surprised, which I'm loving this. So anyway, off the gate, thinking about the animation style and how it looks and how it feels, there's so much violence in this, it's not even funny. I mean, I remember looking at Flashpoint and I looked at some of the action that was happening in it and some of the gory things that would happen. This actually, to be honest with you, it goes there as well. To be quite honest with you, there are times where you see somebody and they're running and they're fighting and they're using martial arts, and you'll see somebody get stabbed, or you'll see somebody get, like, I don't even know, like curb stomped, like broken neck, anything you can think of, because you got characters that are part of the League of Shadows. No, not a League of Shadows, League of Assassins. I hate the way that Chris Nolan embedded that in my mind. But League of Assassins, you have Ra's al Ghul, you have Talia al Ghul, you have Damian, you have technically Bruce. And I mean, all these characters, they are trained assassins. And when you bring characters like Slade Wilson, or other words, Deathstroke, in the mix of it, you're gonna get a lot of violence, and that is what you're gonna get in this one. And I mean, the way they did the stylization for it, the action scenes were on point. The visuals and the scope of it was just very beautiful. There was at one point within the actual movie, I was looking at it and you see Batman and he's driving in the city, and he's actually, at this point, Damian, he's met his son already, and they were driving, and you get to see a wide scope of Gotham, and it just looks awesome. It like the way that they proceeded and the way they did it, it just really, they took a simple moment and they made it beautiful. And that's where, like, a lot of movies nowadays, or even like cartoon movies, they'll just have like flashes of things happening, and it's never like a steady time where you just kind of relax and coast into it. And that was one of the things that Under the Red Hood, it kind of enveloped. That slowness build up until the point where it climaxed. It was just awesome. But I mean, hands down, this is probably one of the better looking ones that I've seen in a long time. I love the animation style of how they did it. At first I was kind of iffy and thinking I didn't know how they was gonna look. But then there was a fight scene where Batman was fighting Killer Croc, and it was such a low lighted like scene. It's kind of hard to see what was really kind of going on. But then when you finally saw what was actually happening, you're like, wow. And the danger that you felt with the animation styles and even the voice acting for each character, it was kind of on point and mimic of how they did it. And so, I mean, I really love the look of this. I mean, even the Batmobile, it kind of had this kind of classic kind of feel. It was definitely in rendition of, I've definitely seen all the covers for Batman and Robin, the comic books, and you're going to remember that, and you're going to see it, and you're like, oh, wow, this is awesome. So, I mean, I have to give, I think, the animation and the look and the style of it definitely a 10 out of 10. The music and the score was actually really good as well. You're gonna be surprised with the amount of violence, though. I promise you, you're gonna be surprised, because there's one fight scene towards the end, and I kid you not, like, there are broken bones, there are like things getting stabbed, and it's like, what is going on? It was cutthroat, and you're gonna have a brand new appreciation for Robin after this. If y'all have never read any of the new Batman and Robins or know anything about Damian, like, you're gonna have a brand new appreciation for Robin. So going into the characters, I have a lot of surprises. I don't know. One, I think I don't want to spoil it. I guess I'll go through the list. So you got Batman. You got the version of Batman from this one that he does a great job of keeping Batman grounded, but at the same time showing what he's truly capable of. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it, to be quite honest with you, in the way that they portrayed the same character from War just in his element, you know, and how dangerous he is, and at the same time, like, how smart he is. The detective side meets the physicality meets like, I don't know, it's just really awesome how they actually depicted it. It was a great rendition of how Batman's supposed to be. But then there are characters like Talia al Ghul, that Talia, like, you think about Talia and you're like, okay, she always called him beloved, and technically she is his equal to a degree, on an intellectual level, on a genetic level, based on being the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, which Ra's al Ghul does make an appearance in this, and I ain't gonna lie, he goes in as well, and every scene that he was in, he lit it up. It was really awesome, and you're always left guessing. But Talia, in this one, she is awesome. I mean, like, the girl can fight, like, her intellectual level is just on point. Like, I'm kind of wondering if she might have other stuff going on in between the scenes. And then, of course, you've got, like, characters like Deathstroke, that the way that they carry his character in a different light like this is really good, and he plays a very good villain. I need to find who the voice actor is, because the voice acting for him was really well done. Actually, all around, the voice acting was really well done. But what shines, and he should shine, is Damian. Damian was like, it's like you got a small Bruce Wayne with the physicality of Batman that he is right now. I mean, literally, it's nothing this kid can't do. And I mean, he also doesn't have the reserve as Batman as well. Like, if there's somebody going, he might kill him, or he might dismember them, or he might do something terrible. And he's so unpredictable, but at the same time, there's this level of insecurity that you're kind of feeling with his character, because you're like, this kid can't be doing all this and, like, going out of vengeance, and he not have some kind of soul or meat of a soul. And especially if he loves somebody, if he loves his mother, it has to be more to it. And it's done so well through the voice acting. This kid, he lights it up, and I loved every second of how he did his rendition of Damian Wayne. And I mean, by the end of it, you will be a believer of Damian. I promise. There was some interview that I had read about it, and they had said, they alluded to the same thing. But I mean, to be honest with you, like, now, like, Damian is probably one of my favorite characters they've ever brought to, because with his character, he's so trained, like, physically, and at the same time intellectually, and you don't know about the intellectual side, but because he hasn't had the leadership or the kinship of what people like Dick Grayson or Jason Todd or Tim Drake have had, then he doesn't understand that like partner versus partner and going up against the storm, like you need other people having your back and you can't just do it all alone, you know. And it's awesome because he has a lot in common with his dad. It's really interesting to see. Anyway, going into, like I said, the characters, there's other characters such as, I'll go ahead and just say it, Dick Grayson does make a small appearance. I'm not gonna say how, but when you see him, and when it happens, you're gonna be like, and of course the first person he meets is Damian, and it's not necessarily gonna be a good good meet and greet. And I mean the choice words between the dialogue, and I love the scripting for this. The dialogue, I'm not sure if it's on point with how they did the comic books or not, but the interactions are it's just really authentic, it's real, and I really loved it. I loved how they did the character development through each person. But definitely the character voice acting was on point. I had to give the voice acting at least a 9 out of 10. But the story was so intriguing that I was like left guessing a lot of the time. I felt like I was over guessing things because I didn't know who had an ulterior motive, what was really at stake in all this, and what was the end goal, you know. And when you get to the point where you get the end goal, like I wasn't disappointed necessarily, but I was like trying to still process stuff. I was looking at the end of the movie trying to see, is there more? Is there more? What else? What else are you gonna show me? And I mean, yeah. So going into the story, you got the character arc of Batman and Damian. Batman does not know that Damian like even exists, and so Talia had kept it a secret from him. He found out how the pregnancy even happens, and I'm not gonna spoil any of that, but it's just so interesting how everything's interwoven, because you have Damian that he looks up to his grandfather, which is Ra's al Ghul, and he believes that he deserves the inheritance of not only being a leader of the League of Assassins, but leader of the free world. And it's such a diluted kind of concept. And at the same time, you got on this side of the spectrum a world that he doesn't even understand of, and a man that he does have an empire, yes, as Wayne Court, but the empire that he's built with being Batman and working on his own and doing anything he can to protect the fellow man, he hasn't known of that. And it's a whole other thing. Like, it's like when you miss your father, when you're absent of having an actual father, your physical father, like there's something that happens on a mental level that it's like, you know, you're missing something. Even though you make it and you all works out in the long term of making yourself a better person or driving yourself to being what you're supposed to be, like that still there's that cutoff that you know that there's a part of yourself that you're missing. And it's like a curiosity there that Damian is finding with just the interaction. So when he meets his dad, it's like he's not like, oh man, who are you? But at the same time, it's like he's very cheeky. He's very cheeky in the way that he interacts with Batman. He's like, man, thought you'd be taller. Stuff like that, comments like that. Or even the way he interacts with Alfred. It's like, you're supposed to be doing more than this, or stuff like that. And he's just such an interesting individual that I really love his character. And it's gonna be good to see him grow up. If any of y'all know the outcome of Damian, don't talk about it in the spoilers, or don't spoil it down below in the comments. But yeah, it was a good story. And by the end of it, like I said, the final fight, it was epic. It was epic. And I mean, to me, Damian shined more than Batman did in this one, as he's supposed to, because it's about the son of Batman. And so I'd have to give, I guess, this one, because it's one of my favorites now. Technically, it's one of my favorites. I'd have to give it a 9 out of 10 for the story. So all around, I'd have to give it probably like a 9.0. I really enjoyed the action, the animation style. I love this animation style. I love the voice acting. I love the intensity of the story-driven epic, which is another corner piece of Batman. And you're taking stuff that's like, what, it started this maybe like 2011, 2010, and you're bringing it now to 2014, just 4 years later. And so DC is just going here. DC Comics, DC Animation, you are doing your job. You have a fan in me, and I'll prove it to you. I mean, I got, you saw those other two. You got this. Let me look. You got this. You got this. You got this. Yes, I do. I'm a little bit biased because I am a Batman fan. Anyway, but they are doing their job, and I need to get under the red hood. If this goes on sale, the movie officially releases, I believe, for everyone to be able to see, May the 2nd, if not May the 6th. So when it comes out, highly recommend you go and buy that. I'm going to be definitely buying it all over again, and I'm probably going to get the collector edition or whatever is the highest, whatever. But definitely go and check it out. Go to IMDb so you can go check on the voice actors so you can know specifically who each actor is. I'm not going to go through every single one, but this was one of my favorite DC animated movies to date. Under the Red Hood is probably right there above it, or if not right at equal to it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is my review for the Son of Batman DC Animations. This is SEL020. Leave your comments at the bottom. If you like this video, please leave a like at the bottom. I got more videos ahead, I promise you that. I don't know, some movie is coming out this weekend I think I want to go see. Can't think of it right now, but if I go see it, I will do a review for it. SEL020 signing out. Later, everybody.